30 days in that community. In the African American community, unfortunately, we hear that's about 6 hours. And so while I am as guilty as many others, the point we're trying to make is if the dollar doesn't circulate in the community, it has no opportunity to create a producer environment such that it gets to multiply, which is why the banking system was developed.
The three things you can do with money are that you can spend the money, you can hold the money, or you can grow the money. Well, obviously spending the money is how a lot of people get into trouble. In fact, they don't just spend all their money, they spend money they don't even have, and they end up in debt. So those are the options that you want to avoid. The options that you want to pursue are to either hold the money or to grow the money, and there are techniques for doing this. So the best way to avoid financial pitfalls is to follow a model that I have for children, which is what I call the KID model. The KID model stands for Knowledge, Investment, Discipline. Knowledge means that every black child in America should have a basic economic education from a very early age. They should know how to buy a home. They should know how to start a business. They should know how to invest in the stock market. So you've got the knowledge now. Now they need capital. That's where the I comes in. That stands for investment. That means that every person of color should invest at least $5 a day into the stock market on a regular basis. Doesn't matter which stocks you buy. What matters is that you just get in the game. Because if you're not in the game, you can't win the game. And so the best way to be a bad investor is to not invest at all. So just invest in the stock market on a regular basis. Do it for your kids so that when they get that knowledge, they have some capital to work with. The last part, the D stands for discipline. Discipline means that even when you know what you need to do, sometimes you still don't do it. So you teach your kids how to have economic discipline, how to engage in delayed gratification, how to make sure that the long term is more important than the short term. They do things today that'll put them in a better position tomorrow.
Banking in itself is the ability to be able to accumulate money and wealth over time. Stock is a component of allowing you to grow that wealth. And so for many people, you have to think about what is my overall goal. If my goal is to accumulate wealth, I would say the first thing you should consider doing is buying a home, having a savings account, and a checking account. As you begin to move along the continuum of growing your wealth, you have to think about things such as protection, such as insurance. And you also think about things that allow you to grow your wealth, such as stocks and bonds. And so as I think about banking services and financial services, the ability to be able to save, use a checking account, have a good credit score, buying into a home, buying protection through insurance, sets you up to be able to grow your wealth in investing in stocks and bonds.
It's imperative that Black people begin to see themselves differently. And to do this, we must understand that whoever controls the images controls your self-esteem, self-respect, and self-development. Whoever controls